Danish industry is hoping to one day produce rifles for the Danish Armed Forces, with this news coming from a September 2025 report by Danish media outlet TVMidtvest. And while it's clear that the story is now several months old, we thought it was still worth reporting on, given the continued interest in small arms and small arms production among our viewers. So let's get started. And so, per reporting by TVMidtvest, some 20 Central and West Jutland companies hope to someday produce rifles for the Danish Armed Forces. This decentralized production of AR pattern rifles is being coordinated by the Research and Development Center DAMRC, or Danish Advanced Manufacturing Research Center, in Herning, Denmark. The goal of this project? To make Denmark less dependent on foreign weapons. At present, and indeed for the past 3 decades, Danish forces have largely used Canadian-made assault rifles in the form of the C7 and C8 from Dymaco, which has since become Colt Canada, a subsidiary of the Czech CZ Group. Last year, the Danish forces signed a contract to procure the newest versions of those Canadian assault rifles, and these firearms saw first delivery in early 2026. Sure, Canadian-Danish relations are pretty good, but that hasn't stopped some Danes from trying to make their country more resilient and independent in a worst-case scenario. With this in mind, Director of DAMRC, Claus Bune Erskov, was quoted as saying, "If the world situation gets even worse than it is now, it is not certain that we can buy rifles from elsewhere, and if we are to defend ourselves, weapons are unfortunately a necessary evil." TVMidtvest says that the plan is to distribute the production of the rifle's 140 parts among the various different companies to make the supply chain more robust. And on this, Erskov states, "It is very difficult to stop a production that is located at many different companies. If a single company has a problem, it could be because someone from the outside is irritating them, or because they have internal problems. You can take the pieces and put them out to the other companies." As far as we know, no contract has been signed for the procurement of these domestically manufactured firearms, and thus no production figure has been publicized. TVMidtvest notes that the group would be able to handle an order as large as 40,000 rifles, and that such work can start quickly once a contract is secured. Indeed, Erskov notes that the first rifles can be ready in as little as 3 months once an order is placed, and again, no such order exists just yet. Many of the companies involved have opted to remain anonymous. However, it was noted that many parts are to be assembled by the East Jutland company Small Arms Industries. Producer of springs, the company Lambex Fabrik in Silkeborg, was also happy to go public with its involvement. Charlotte Davison, director of the company's factory, was quoted as saying, "If you can produce something in Denmark that creates jobs, turnover and earnings for our companies, I don't see why we should buy it abroad. There is so much talk about us having to rearm and that it can only go too slowly. So let's get started." The companies involved in this project also hope that a Danish production can benefit Ukraine. On this note, as always seems to be the case, the demand from Ukraine exists, but funding such production tends to be where challenges pop up. As we've seen with a few projects, local industry has to first take the financial and logistical risk in establishing and marketing the project and product in hopes that the government/military will be interested. With DAMRC, the coalition is hoping it can have a dialogue with Danish defense and is making a concrete offer in this connection. And in responding to TVMidtvest, the Danish military's procurement agency, the FMI, offered this statement. FMI is positive about the fact that there is an expansion of the defense industry in Denmark, which both strengthens industry, innovation and security of supply. FMI has previously been in dialogue with, among others, DAMRC, and is open to continued dialogue with various players in the industry, including DAMRC. In relation to the specific case, FMI has recently entered into a major agreement to supply rifles to the Danish Armed Forces, where a large future use of one or more Danish subcontractors is expected, which will help to ensure Danish know-how and security of supply. There is therefore currently no need for further procurement within this area for the Danish Armed Forces, but the area is of course being followed with interest. And again, that quote-unquote major agreement would be the one secured with Canada for C8 MRRs or modular rail rifles, designated M25s, in the Danish forces. Our thoughts on this is that it's a great idea given the fact that the AR pattern isn't copyrighted and can be freely reproduced. DAMRC will thus need to be very careful about everything else it adds onto its rifles to make sure it's not intentionally or unintentionally infringing on patents. After all, we know just how litigious large defense firms can get. Producing at scale while ensuring quality control and sufficient durability in extreme conditions will also be huge factors if this domestically produced rifle has any chance of being picked up by Danish Armed Forces, or any armed forces for that matter. To echo our own concerns, one industry insider notes that high-volume small arms production needs to take into account endurance testing, quality systems, environmental performance, repeatability and long-term sustainment, and tell us that is often where many AR pattern programs struggle. Indeed, building an AR-type rifle is not particularly controversial or difficult. However, building one that meets military durability standards under full QA/QC at scale and on schedule is where most projects stumble or fail. For now, and probably for the next decade, it would seem that Denmark's assault rifle needs are taken care of, as the Danish Armed Forces have found a pretty reliable partner in Colt Canada and its C7/C8 families. If this is indeed the case, then it's simply bad timing for these Danish businesses. Maybe in the meantime, DAMRC can develop something suited to the civilian market in order to gain production experience and refine its product to make sure it's ready to go when the opportunity presents itself. But what do you think of this initiative by Danish industry? Let us know by leaving a comment.